at where you're at. Yeah, there's probably a ceiling, but you'll probably break that because of your hard work. Because there's only two ways to go here, and this is the difference with the two parties. One believes in hard work, the other one wants to give handouts. Right?
That's not true.
I
think there's so much more nuance to that than it is. It's not that they want handouts, and it's not that the fact is there's unconscious bias when people make decisions, and they're not necessarily. You may think that they're doing it on merit, but there are intangibles, like when you have two same qualified candidates, there are intangibles. And part of the reason DEI, even in affirmative action, even came to an existence, it's because the white guy used to get preference over that. The thing is, how can we be sure that that bias still isn't in play today? I think it's been alleviated in a lot of ways, but I don't think it's 100% gone. So how do we address that? So I think there's a middle, there's like a point on the right that I totally agree. And then there's a point on the left that I absolutely understand. So how do you merge these two ideas to make it something that both sides can say, that sounds fair? How do you do that? DEI isn't working because people feel discriminated against on the other side. And if we're not doing it, how can we be sure the bias still isn't really in play?
And that's my point, is DEI and affirmative action and programs like that, to me, that sets things back. That does not push things forward and help people at all, because it's separating, just like Obama is what he did, breaking everybody down by race, gender, sexuality. That was separates us. We are all, our DNA is all the same. Yeah. You look at a black person's DNA, an Asian person's DNA, and a white person's DNA, you will not be able to tell what color that person is. Yeah. It's all in the melanin of our skin, and that is it. Period. End of story. Point blank. Done. Yeah. So this shit needs to stop with the, I'm a this, that, and the other. I don't care what you are. I don't care. Are you educated? Do you know how to do the job? Are you reliable, trustworthy, whatever? Yes. That's all I care about. I don't care about anything else.
Do you think that this administration is fostering unity, or do you think it's creating more of a divide?
I think there's a little bit of both, because Trump gets in his own way with the shit that he says. I understand why he says it. He does love to troll people, but he has tried to do more for communities of color than the last administration did, and we had a
that's for sure
black vice president.
Yeah, she. Yeah,
Trump, I mean, he funded all those HBCUs.
Yeah.
The
prison reform.
The prison reform. He had so much stuff that he did in his last term, and that he's still trying to do now. And if you look at his administration is 1,000 times more diverse than Biden's was.
Oh yeah. Oh
yeah.
Oh
God. Yeah.
I don't know about that one. I have to look that up.
He's got a lot of
he's got women.
She's right about the diversity, like the YouTubers, head of the FBI. Who we got? King of HUD.
Whoa. He was a deputy director before that. And he belongs there. Cash Patel belongs there. Yeah. He had a YouTube thing after that.
I'm not talking about Cash. I'm talking about the other dude that gets into
Dan Bongino. You mean the former Secret Service and New York police detective?
He's former Secret Service.
Dan Bongino. He worked with the Secret Service, and he was a New York City police detective for 20 plus years. He belonged there.
He's not just a YouTuber. He's former law enforcement.
Yep. Yeah. New York detective for 20 plus years. Yep.
And Secret Service.
The FBI assistant director is a glorified cop. Yes. And that's what he's got a ton of experience.
And if you want to talk about the divide between the left and the right, and this is a two-way street, the misinformation about people that gets spread
No, I
around.
used to watch his show. That's what I'm telling you. I've watched Dan Bongino a lot
Damn.
of times.
Yeah.
He's a conspiracy theorist,
He
crazy
is, yeah.
too.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, I know him. Like, I know his personality, and that's what I'm saying. Like, that's who you're gonna be. Like, I need that guy to be the head of that. What?
I hear
Like,
he's gonna be leaving in the next
like
month.
it's not like I looked at a resume and said, oh, okay, he's this and he's
But
he's not qualified to be
Tulsi
head of that.
Gabbard,
No, I'm talking about just knowing his personality.
Yeah.
Like, why would you pick him?
Christy Nome. I mean, he's got a lot of
Yeah.
females,
Yeah.
and they're not all white.
Nope.
No, I mean, I don't have a problem with his diversity. It's just like I said. I mean, like, usually when he picks you for something, man, you don't have nothing to do with that job. Like,
see, man, there's a couple of people.
Who's the director of HUD this
I just
time?
disagree. I think Dan
Because you
Bongino
made
did
a
have something to do with
brainstorm.
the
Why would
job.
you make a? Let me ask you this. If you had a company, okay, and you were in charge of housing and developing, real estate and stuff like that, would you go out and hire a brain surgeon to be the president of your company?
And if they can run a good company, maybe.
Bro, if your job,
I don't know,
make money in construction and do, would you hire a brain surgeon to run your company?
But I'm not hiring for that. I would hire somebody that was experienced in construction.
That's all I want is sometimes for
talking
people to
about
be
Ben-
honest.
so you're
Like,
talking
you
about
wouldn't,
Ben
bro.
Carson?
You wouldn't do it.
No, I would
You
definitely hire somebody that's in construction. But
definitely. So
Yeah.
why would you pick a brain surgeon to be in charge of all the housing in the United States, the public?
Oh, you mean
housing?
like
What is
Ben
that?
Carson?
Ben Carson, you mean? Is that who
oh,
you're talking
dude,
about?
he's brilliant. He is a fucking brilliant man. That dude is
He's
brilliant.
a brain surgeon, of course.
That dude is fucking
The
brilliant.
question is, what about Pete Buttigieg being in
So-
charge of transportation? These
So-
are political appointments, which happens all the time.
Yeah, but
I that's just a left and right thing. I don't
But
think
hold on,
that's.
But hold on, listen. Transportation is different. Like that, like transportation and housing is totally different. What I'm trying to say is the correlation between brain surgery and housing is nowhere in the even stratosphere. And
Well, I don't see the court.
I don't understand why a person can't just look at that and say, yeah, you're right. That doesn't, like, why can't it just be that?
That's a political appointment.
Why
This is a political appointment.
Why does
You're
it
right
have to
about
be
that.
a justification in it? Why does it have to? That's madness.
No.
Just like I asked him, like, if you had a construction company and you had all these guys, would you go out looking for a brain surgeon to run the? You wouldn't. And that's what I'm saying. Like, just to be honest with you, like, it wasn't a good move, and that's all we got to say. And keep it. So, like, when we go into the justification of it, it's
did
where
he do a bad job? Did he do a bad job?
What job did he do? What did he do?
I have no idea. I'm asking you. Is it critical? Are we critical because of what we know, or are we critical? We're not critical because we really have any basis of whether we know whether he did a good job or anything like that. We're critical
doing really any
basis
job.
on very.
That was the point they were making, that he wasn't doing really any job, and that's a real big problem in America right now.
Who made that point?
Who made the point he did a bad job?
No, I mean, it's in the papers. Like, he wasn't doing a job. He wasn't doing anything.
So the media.
There was no job.
The media? Oh, there you go. Hey, if you're seeing something on the TV, you're not really giving anybody any information.
But listen to this: if you work for Trump and you're doing something good, we're going to hear about it because he's going to tell us.
I think Trump steps on his message all the time.
Yeah,
all the time.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, if that dude was doing such a fabulous job, Trump would use that to his advantage. Look at this guy I hired. He's doing this.
But
and
what do you really hear about HUD anyway?
Yeah,
How much do you
Trump
really hear about
never
HUD?
does that.
I hear about HUD every day. I mean,
I do because my mother works for them. But
how does that help the political divide, though? Like,
that's one of my biggest gripes about Trump is. Oh, sorry.
No, I'm just saying, like, with the political divide, that has nothing to do with any political divide at all. That's the HUD thing is pointless to even talk about because you have no numbers.
I'm not talking about HUD specifically. I'm talking about the hiring of a brain surgeon to be over HUD. I'm not talking about HUD.
I think the hiring of a mayor to be in charge of the country's transportation department is also not a great thing. They were both political appointments because they were opponents of the candidate, And in order to get their constituencies the pledge, they promise them positions. And I think that's a problem no matter who does it. So
I have a quick question.
I can agree with you.
I just have a quick question. I promise.
Job as the mayor, at least he had experience.
At what? Filling potholes?
Ma'am, it just goes back to my point. If I come over your house and you need your driveway fixed, you're going to hire a brain surgeon to fix your driveway. You're not. No,
I'm not going to hire a mayor either.
Quick question. I have a quick question.
Hire a mayor.
If the mayor had done concrete before, why not?
I have a quick question.
Surgeon had lived in public housing before. Why not?
I got a quick question. So you're
Ben
telling
Carson
me
didn't live in public housing. That's
okay. So what you're saying? So what you're saying is one of the most intelligent people in the country, a brain surgeon, which there's probably a handful of, is not smart enough to run an office. That's what you're telling me. That's 100% what you're saying, because that's what he's doing, is he's running an office. This dude is doing brain surgeries. He would doctorates, like one of the smartest people in the world, and you're telling me he can't run an office.
No, I just wanted you to defend it, because that's the point I'm making.
But that's the whole thing.
We don't do that. Like if somebody, like if I had something wrong with my brain, definitely want him. Won't him.
I get what you're saying.
And why can't it just be that? Like, why do you have to go into this defense? Oh, well, this and that, when you know that's not a good hire. Why can't it just not be a good hire?
Because Ben was in politics. Ben was in politics. I think he ran for president last. He was one of the small people that ran when Trump won. So to keep him in politics. And to be honest with you, I'm surprised Larry Elder didn't get in on this administration.
What I can agree with you on is I do think it's a political. I think it's a problem with political. What do you call it?
Like appointees.
With political, when they're picking people politically for political benefit, as opposed to a qualification. And I think that happens everywhere. On both sides of the side, I do wish they would pick experts. So I can agree with you on that.
I'll defend
You're
it.
exactly right. It happens on both sides. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not just picking on Republicans. I'm saying both sides. Like, why do we pick people that have nothing to do with the job, but because you help me out, you put a couple bucks in my campaign. Here, you're the you could do HUD. Man, come on, man, dude.
Okay.
It doesn't make absolutely no sense, man. I just use that because that was the most outlandish.
I gotcha.
Let Jen go.
We could go for a Go ahead, Jen. Go ahead.
I'll defend it to a point. First of all, he should have been Surgeon General. That would have made sense.
Yes.
And that's what I said. I said that right from the get-go.
Yes.
When I found out.
Me too. Me too. Yes.
I will say, HUD really is not that big of a deal. It's money. You're managing money. Pushing money around. Ben Carson has been on many boards. He was on the board of Costco. He was on the board of Sinclair Media Group. So he does know how to manage. You're managing personnel when you are a secretary. That's all you're doing. And he does know how to do that. So again, Surgeon General would have made a lot more sense.
I thought he turned that down, though, didn't he?
I don't know that he was even offered it.
I thought they asked him, and I thought he didn't want that. I don't know if there was too much involvement or something.
And I do believe that he did want to be on HUD because of the fact that he did grow up in very poverty-stricken area. His mother couldn't even read. His mother forced him to learn how to read and made him read books, and that's how he became who he was. So he did grow up in Section 8 housing or whatever, public housing. And his whole thing was that he wanted to help make it better. So,
and that's you're right. I read his book when I was a kid.
Yeah.
He was one of my heroes.
Ben's awesome, man. Incredible.
He's a wonderful guy.
Yes, he is.
So growing up, I read Gifted Hands, you know what I mean? And what was stuck with me was the fact that he could see like the brain in like 4D where other people couldn't see that.
Yeah.
That's why I felt like Charles' point, somebody like that probably should be running HUD. You know what I mean? Like you're way up here. It's
he's
like,
way more qualified for something
you know what I
else.
mean? Like
Yeah.
HUD, man. You know, like he's not the man for that. This man can see, like, he don't need an X-ray 3D MRI scanner or something like that to see the brain. He can do that in his head, and that's incredible. But I wanted to go ahead. I'm sorry.
I think, but that's why I think he's like a very giving person and a very caring person, and I think that was his thing. Was he was trying to see what he could do at HUD to make public housing better for people in the poorer communities, because he grew up that way. So I think that was like his way to give back, as opposed to the Surgeon General. Maybe if he was offered that position and turned it down, maybe he didn't think that it was challenging enough, that there was enough involvement for him. I don't know. I'm not aware of that aspect of it, but I do know that he said that HUD was a baby of his, that he wanted to do something with.
I do have one question, and I was going to bring it back up, just kind of bring it back to where we were at, about the divide. What do you think? Do you all think that we are too far gone as a nation to ever?
No,
you don't think it's too far gone. You think that there's because I mean, this stuff like this gives me hope, like how we're talking and how we're discussing things, and even though we don't agree, this gives me hope, and I wish I could see that more on a larger scale, because I think what has happened is that people have bubbles now, and it starts with social media, like
100%,
absolutely.
So like if me and Nancy Google the same thing, I guarantee you Nancy's going to get a totally different search than I'm going to get, because the algorithm knows what I search for already. So it's encapsulated me in this bubble, and it's going to give me the specific brand of media that knows that I'm already.
Yes. Yes, sir.
I think that that's one of the huge problems that we have right now, and I think that's one of the huge factors why we're so divided. You know what I mean?
And you know who's going to fix that?
Who's that?
The TikTok deal. Trump.
No, listen, that's the worst thing that could happen. I promise you. No, Jen, hear me out real quick. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
I'll listen.
So TikTok was owned by ByteDance, right?
Yep.
And the reason why they don't like TikTok is because it was unfiltered. People were getting, first off, you have to remember there's the Israel factor to that as well. I'll go back a little bit further. Listen to this. Benjamin Netanyahu came out and he said, "Hey guys, guess what? You know what the biggest thing right now that's a problem right now?" And he was like, "Guess. There's a clip. I wish I had the clip I could show you right now." And they were like, "What?" He was like, "TikTok." He said, "But hopefully that deal goes through with the U.S." Benjamin Netanyahu said that.
AI, my man. It's got to be AI.
The algorithm was allowing unfiltered news, so people were getting news of like what was going on in Gaza, Palestine, stuff that they couldn't see because I swear to God, and because the United States couldn't filter it, that's why they forced China to sell it to them, because they want to be able to filter that algorithm. They're going to have control of the algorithm now. Swear to God.
Yeah, you might be right.
No,
they're not.
Algorithms are the curse of social media. There should be no algorithms. There should be none.
The data collection companies. That's the problem.
But they are going to control the algorithm. They've even came out and said it already. They said that literally in a press statement.
There's a lot of problems with the algorithm.
Fix the algorithm.
There's nothing wrong with it, though.
Yes, there is. Yes, there is.
When my 14-year-old son gets targeted with gay, trans, blah, 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 all the time.
The social contagions all over the place. It's really bad for our youth.
Do you guys know what's about to happen? Do you guys know what's about to happen? We're gonna be shut down back to another little window of only specific things that the government wants us to see.
Wait, like the media? Wait, like the news? Are you talking about like the news? That's why that stuff's free. That's why that stuff is free.
But TikTok was like,
I'm going to agree with you, Rashawn, that I don't think the government should be interfering in assigning algorithms. I agree with you that they should not be assigning algorithms. 100%. I think there should be no algorithms. I think you should be able to look up what you want or pick what you want and not have algorithms, because our kids are being harmed.
But I'll tell you what.
I just looked something up right now. Ben Carson didn't grow up in no public housing. How about that, guys?
Where'd he grow up?
He grew up in a place called Indian River, and they listed all his houses him and his mom got divorced at 13. Right. They wrote the whole thing out there. No public housing, guys.
Poverty, though, right?
No, he was in poverty.
No, man, it didn't say nothing about poverty either. I mean, his mom had to work double jobs, but I mean, hey, that's how we all grew up.
Yeah, well, he had a rough upbringing, though, but he worked his ass off to get there. Rashawn even read his book. He was talking about it, too.
So real quick, Jed, I just want to finish. Here's a direct quote, because y'all laughed at me when I said about Benjamin Netanyahu, right? Direct quote. He said, TikTok is the most important purchase going on right now. Social media like TikTok and X is the most important weapon to support our base here in the United States. And I mean, he's basically telling you that they don't want that flow of information coming through to these. What happened? You had people protesting.
It's all over Instagram.
The algorithm was one-sided is what the problem was. I agree. The government should not be controlling the algorithm, because then they are controlling basically propaganda. I don't like the algorithms, because all it does it does confirmation bias. It just reaffirms and intensifies, and it doesn't present other sides. I don't like the algorithms. I think they're wrong. I would like to see them totally go away. I understand the reasoning for them. However, I find if they're going to fix the algorithm, it should have if this is a topic you're looking on, the algorithm should provide side A, side B, side C. It should get all viewpoints, and that should be the only part of an algorithm involved, if you know what I mean. I don't even know if they can do it.
They're trying to see what you like, so then they'll start showing you that stuff. Like me, so I stopped going on like Facebook and that stuff for politics, and I just go on for memes. So now they just feed me memes. It's quite funny. It's funny
every Friday.
Yeah, every Friday it's all memes.
But I understand it. But that is the problem with the algorithm. Go ahead, Jen.
Let me correct something about Ben Carson. If you read further. His parents got divorced when he was 13. No,
5? At 5?
Wait a minute. No, hold on. His parents got divorced because his mother found out that her husband was married to somebody else. His father was married to somebody else. Excuse me. They moved to Roxbury and Dorchester in Boston, and I am from Boston, and I can attest to the fact Roxbury and Dorchester are not good neighborhoods.
Nope.
But they stayed in multi-family dwellings.
That doesn't matter.
That's not a good thing.
So they're all crammed.
Believe me, I wouldn't go to Rochester or Dorchester ever.
Yeah, no. That's a tiny house. That's a tiny. It's like an apartment.
It's not the projects though.
It's worse.
Multi-person. Yeah, that's
the projects.
It's really bad. It's bad.
Yeah,
that's what a project is. Isn't a project a multi-family dwelling?
It depends. They have the extremely large projects, which again I think was a big problem in what happened with the Black community. Was
what they talk about
is corralling them all in there.
Is what you would consider a townhouse, like where it's two.
No,
right?
No, if you go there,
is a condo.
It depends. No, he's right. They're different. They're not just up tall high rises. They're like he's talking about.
But they are different, but that doesn't mean that the environment is good either. Because it isn't. It's very bad.
I'm sure it's good.
No, Roxbury and Dorchester are row houses, and if you look up row houses in Baltimore, you'll see that that's similar to what row houses in Roxbury and Dorchester are. It's just rows of 2-story houses or multifamily. It'll be 2 stories, and you'll live on the first floor, and another family will live on the second floor. But it's just rows and rows and rows of them, and it's. I worked in Dorchester and Roxbury. Believe me,
but guys, growing up poor don't give you the insight to be over, public housing. That doesn't
running multiple successful offices does though. We kind of got to the point. That was the point.
If he didn't grow up in public housing, did he get rental assistance? Was that available back then? I don't even know.
Probably not.
It was.
What does it matter? He wasn't getting it.
Well, that's part of HUD. Rental assistance is part of HUD.
His mom was getting it. He wasn't getting it. He didn't know nothing about that.
But he grew up in the poor housing.
You grow up with it affects you, but we could be wrong, and I'm not. There's no point in belaboring the point.
But yeah, and even if you do grow up like that, moms don't discuss their Section 8 with their shorties. That's not what happens.
That's not true at all.
I got
so many people in Section 8. Them kids know everything.
Kids all know about it. And her kids are adults now, and she's still getting it.
So, okay.
Okay.
Are we cool on the bank?
Yeah.
We good?
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
More than cool.
But I think it was really cool that you did look that up. And obviously, my impression was mistaken as far as public housing. So I will say that.
I mean, I get like he didn't grow up rich, but I'm just saying, like, just because he had a little hard time doesn't mean like
he grew up in.
Oh, you're qualified for you.
Considered a ghetto.
And I think, and if I'm being honest with you guys, it's kind of a slap in the face for him to give him the fucking other job. The dude's a brain surgeon, and that's the best you could out of all them government jobs. That's the best thing you could find is fucking HUD.
I got you.
If that's what he wanted,
no, that's just him. I gotta have a black guy here, dude.
No, ask. But why don't you find out if that's what Ben wanted?
Yeah. Hey, see it. I ain't got a computer.
I don't know. I don't know. And I get your point, and the point's good. It doesn't really matter. The point is,
he turned down that Surgeon General job. I'm pretty sure he did.
I haven't looked yet, but I'll bet you $10 that the new person in HUD is black. And I bet you, I'm gonna look.
You think so?
Take that bet.
I don't know.
$10, man. You gotta Venmo me if I'm right. I'm about to look.
Better than the press secretary.
But do you think? You want to take the?
I don't gamble.
Jay, we're gonna bet. Haven't looked yet. I promise you. We're gonna bet.
No way. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know who's gonna pick. I have no idea who's in the candidates or nothing.
I'm looking now. Hold on, man. Who is the head?
It's gonna be a woman.
So the central argument used to defend Carson's qualification was his experience growing up in poverty in Detroit and living in subsidized housing
Google.
with a single mother.
Subsidized housing.
Scott Turner. Guess what he is?
Black man?
Yeah.
You think?
He is. But let's see who was before him? Who was under Biden? Let's see who Biden picked.
A trans black man.
Biden don't know.
Yeah. No, Biden, that was just freaking admiral.
Don't get Charles started on that. Me and him have beef, man, when it comes to that topic.
Yeah.
Man.
You want to talk about the worst pick ever? Putting a freaking trans, heavily overweight woman as a
Secretary of Health
secretary.
Rachel Levine.
Fuck.
Also half citizen with Israeli. Also, one of those. Yeah, there's a lot. Rashawn, we would probably need to talk about that on the private.
You guys gotta be careful with that with Rashawn because he,
Wait,
no, we about the LMNOP community, boy. We
talk.
We talk about that.
Okay.
I care about the fact that they're over health, and she was a big fat pig. You're gonna tell me about my health?
RFK, boy, huge upgrade.
Okay, and I'm glad you guys are here because I need some backup on this.
And pushing the trans agenda on the kids. I'm sorry.
I am so against that.
You're fucking 25.
But
you're not putting.
I ain't the only one, buddy.
Yeah.
I think even Rashawn is like.
No, Rashawn is busting my balls every day about this trans stuff.
I think adults can do whatever they want.
This is the thing about it. Like he even got my wife at me because my wife told me, I got to get my shit together. Like I can't be calling them LMNOP community, and I'm like, babe, what are they called? And she was like, LGBT, and I'm like, hold on, that's not what they're called. So I looked it up. This is what they're called.
Yeah.
You see how many letters? It's like 2 letters not in the alphabet on
it's
here.
Alphabet.
Hey, what's that B? What's that B stand for?
Bisexual.
Yeah, I don't.
I'm sorry. What's that?
Bisexual.
Oh, it admits. Wait, so you're saying it admits there's 2 genders, right there?
Why don't they just say non-straight group?
I'm gonna call them alphabet.
But hey,
it's easier.
Hey, what's that G? LGB, right?
Lesbian, gay, bisexual,
what's the Q mean? What's the Q mean?
trans?
if the G is gay,
queer. I don't know what G is.
What's the difference between gay and queer?
Gay.
Lesbian is gay. I mean, G is gay.
Queer is different.
Gay and queer.
Queer is different.
Is how you
hey,
feel.
so those people, you know what that plus is? People identify as cats. Yeah, that's what that is.
What about the A? What's the A?
The what?
The A.
Maybe asexual.
That's anybody.
Yeah.
That's anybody. Anybody. So I got people in my family that are part of the group, and I make fun of when it stops at the LGBT. I'm like, what's all those other letters? I'm like,
my thing is this, dude. If you're gonna do all this and you change it every week, I mean, how legit is it?
That is
if
mentally.
I'm Charlo today and I'm Chi tomorrow and I'm Fredo Wednesday. I mean, how much? When it comes to the point where you stop even caring what they call me?
That's the mentally ill trying to be part of a group. So they're just like, hey, we're going to be part of you guys.
Yeah, but not everybody there, not everybody in those particular categories are necessarily mentally ill.
No,
but this is my whole thing. All I feel like is that it takes nothing to be kind. Who cares? You know what I mean? It's not that hard to say LGBTQ.
Yeah, until you try to go into women's sports. That's not being kind to women.
I've always said. Now you already know, Nancy. I don't agree with that.
I know, but
I don't agree with that.
That's a point I'm making.
Right.
And I don't want men in the women's bathroom either with my daughter.
But what I'm saying is that it takes nothing to be kind to these people, and when you just go out of your way to make fun of them, like Charles does, because he didn't tell you the other thing he calls them. He calls them transformers. He doesn't call them trans. He calls them transformers. And all y'all laugh, so y'all fucked up.
What are they doing?
Going to hell. Jen, you going to hell.
What are they doing?
But what I'm saying
burn my cigarette on the way down.
What's the definition of transform?
You don't have to do that. That's what I'm saying. Why is it so hard just to say trans?
I don't do it.
Friends.
Not you, him.
Friends. And I've asked them questions, and I pick their brains as to why they are the way they are. So and there are legitimately transsexual people.
Now wait a minute. Hang on. I want to be part of this group. I identify as 18. I'm 18 years old.
Tough shit.
And you all got to call me an 18-year-old. No, same thing. It's biology, right? Ain't that biology? It's age, right? Age with sex.
What you're doing is the reason, like, that I don't believe myself personally that you make special stuff up for him, because like I could just,
say whatever I want.
Yeah. And I can assume, and it's not reality. That's what I can, relate to whatever,
So the gay community probably takes up 5% of the population, maybe. Now the trans community is going to be probably 1% of the gay community.
It's like
so you're talking like 0.005% of the entire population are trans, and you're trying to change everything for them. It's like, what about the other 99.9% of them?
If there's only 0.01% of them, how many people are really going to be using the bathroom that's trans then?
Because right now there's what I call a social contagion going on, and it's not just trans, it's the
furry,
the people who the fluid people, gender fluid.
Yeah,
I don't, and aside from that, if it's only that amount of people, why did the Democratic Party in Congress start saying you had to say chest feeders?
Oh, that was dumb.
All right. And all the other things they say, men can get pregnant. Why are they saying men can get pregnant? Trans men, possibly, but with the hormones, I think it would be harder. I don't think there's too many cases.
They were calling women birth givers.
I'm sorry, I find that really offensive.
Yes, you should.
I was with you on that one. I'm with you on that. I'm
not saying that. Our politicians weren't. Our politicians in the media, they weren't. This is why is there a divide? You who are on the left, very, very left, you agree with me. And you thought it was stupid.
Do you do your podcasting, Greg?
On the media and the politicians are all calling us transphobes and calling us evil, hateful people.
Mm-hmm.
Because we don't agree with the degree that they go to.
Here's the bathroom issue solved.
Nancy, I do think that's a good point. Real
quick,
I'm sorry, Jen. I don't mean to overtalk you. Just real quick, I just want to say I think that's a good point because, right, here I am left, right, but I can't agree with you. I don't think they should be in sports.
And I think this happens.
Right, I don't think we should be calling what they call them birth feeders or chest feeders.
Birth givers. Yeah, birth givers.
Birth people.
Yeah, I thought that was too far. Like that's stupid. Like you know what I mean? Why we got to do all that? But I feel like I do feel like they should have specific rights. I don't think it's so hard to call them by whatever.
Well, they do. They have human rights.
Absolutely.
But
what
rights?
What specific
rights? And what rights are they infringing upon if they are given certain rights?
Here's the bathroom issue solved. Fucking unisex bathrooms. They have them in every store. Schools have them. Why do they have to fucking go in a girl's bathroom because they identify as a girl? There's too many fucking kids.
There should be a third bathroom option.
Getting raped, molested, and having shit done to them by these kids that pretend that they're trans.
Yeah, but that's not a trans person, though. Just so I want to put that out there.
It doesn't matter. It's the policy. It's the policy that causes the problem.
Yeah.
And by the way, yes, some trans people. Yeah, and yes, some trans people are sexually aggressive. Yes, they are. Not all of them.
Just like straight people are.
Just like anybody else.
But what rights should they have, though?
I think there should be a separate bathroom that they should be allowed to go in.
Separate locker room.
Separate locker room.
Anybody can use it, and it's a single stall.
And even in sports, they should have their own section. It should be men, women, and then maybe a unisex or something. Like, don't just stuff them in women's sports. That's not fair. Women have been practicing their whole life.
Have an all-sex basketball team where you can have men, women, trans, whatever on the basketball team.
Right.
I think there's some. I think it depends on the sport. So, like, I think like pool. I think men and women can play pool. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't see. You know,
they have that.
I don't think that men.
They don't have gender conforming pool tournaments.
Actually, they do. They do. They have the men's. They have the men's leagues and the women's league. They actually do.
But they
do. But then they play.
I don't see how bowling. Like, why would it make a big deal? Like, if you're a great woman bowler, you can be a great male bowler. I don't see why they like stuff like that. I don't see a problem with. But
because
but physical, but physically, like if it's a physical sport, like you can't put men and women together. If a man has went through puberty as a man and becomes a woman, like his skeleton is different, the muscle structure is different.
Yep. I feel you, but I feel like there's more to like getting a strike in bowling than just strength. I feel like there's a lot more that goes to it.
Yeah, no, there is.
But it is a physical sport. I used to bowl on a bowling league, and I remember like not bowling for a while and going back and playing bowling again, and I was like, oh my god, I'm sore. My arms were sore, like literally with Lauren.
But my whole point is that I feel like that's the divide. Like, okay, so everybody focuses on the far right, everybody focuses on the far left, or the wrong hands. Far right and the far left. You know what I mean? And that's what they focus on. Whereas there's a ton of people there. I think we were talking about that in the group. I think there's most people are somewhere in here, but the loudest people are way out here. Yeah, I think that's what causes the divide in America.
Well, they get the most attention because they say the most outrageous shit.
Well, just like when Charlie Kirk got shot, right, and everybody was rightfully angry. I remember that affected Nancy very, very hard, and everybody like that. And
they had me pretty hard too.
Yeah, exactly. But they focused on those people that were making fun of it and chanting and cheering. But I don't think most people did. I think the majority of people had a human reaction, like, holy shit. Like, I didn't like Charlie Kirk, but I was like, holy shit. Like, wow. Yeah. I didn't want to see him get shot. You know what I mean? Like, I hated the man, but I did not want to see that happen to him. And I think that's where most
hate's a strong word, Rashad.
Yeah.
Can I say, I do agree. I don't think it was
like that.
It wasn't the majority, Rashawn. It wasn't the majority of people, but it was a very high percentage, too high of a percentage, and too many lost their jobs, too many likes, too many comments underneath. All right, it's not just the actual video; it's the whole thing.
Thank you.
And the number of people, and it was professionals, it was teachers, professors, doctors, nurses,
And those are not the people you want around your kids or around
it's
you.
not
kids
but he's just the latest example. The right does the same thing, and that's what people seem to forget all the time.
Not to the degree that they did with Charlie Kirk, or when Donald Trump was the attempt on Donald Trump's life.
They're just recent examples. Y'all forget about the Trayvon, the George Floyd memes, the I can't breathe jokes, and all that stuff. There was memes. There was a whole challenge. They had challenges for Trayvon Martin.
I looked up that challenge. Can I tell you, I looked up that challenge, and it was 99% high school kids, and it was very small. As far as it didn't spread countrywide, it was very small, and the majority of it was high school kids, which is bad, and it shouldn't happen, and they were, disciplined, and they should be. What concerns me, yes, unless you can show me something else, because I was trying to look up the information on it.
So, yeah, there was jokes like they would have a pack of Skittles, a hoodie on, and a tie.
Yeah, the Trayvon. I don't.
And they would lay on the floor. Trayvon challenge. It was called
the Trayvon. I saw that. I didn't look up any. I mean, George Floyd is the one I saw.
Yeah, they would be putting their knee on somebody's neck. Called the George,
yeah.
All right, let me ask you this.
I got to be honest. I never saw them.
I never saw anything like that either.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
You want to?
I'm not saying it didn't exist. I believe they exist. I just don't know how widespread it was.
And Rashawn, I was out there in them protests. So.
Right, no, I know you were, and then you got to think like when Paul Pelosi got. I'm not a Pelosi fan at all. But when he got hit, you know what I mean? You could take a lot of the things that like even Trump said, even though it could be taken out of context, maybe it was out of context, but he was like, hey man, he what did he say? The wall, obviously he was able to get over the wall, something like that. It was like a joke almost. And it was like, you shouldn't say those things. And so I feel like it's not just the left, the right and the left.
I agree.
No, but he did say that
you shouldn't label.
He did condemn it. He didn't make fun of Paul Pelosi. He made it into a political point about, Nancy doesn't have a wall. He shouldn't have done it. He should have left it alone. I agree.
Yeah, he should have just stopped his statement at, I hope he gets.
Yeah.
The problem is like, you got to address the point. Like the media just keeps poking at him. Like it's like asking the same question 150 times a day. And it's like eventually, and they do that to make him crack, and he falls for it because he gets annoyed and he's like, okay, and he'll go on. And like, you got to call the media out for what they're doing. They're there to sell newspapers. They're there to get clicks. They're there to get you to watch. Yeah. I mean, so they're baiting you.
Well, let me ask you this though: do you think George Floyd should have had a statue?
What's that?
Do you think George Floyd should have a statue?
I think that, I don't have a problem with that.
Why?
I think
why? Fucking criminal, drug addict, piece of shit.
No, hey, he took fentanyl when the cops busted him. He didn't want to get caught with his shit, and he took his stuff and he died.
I don't care what happened when he died. I think his death was a tragedy, and it shouldn't have happened.
Can I answer?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. The reason why I don't have a problem with having the statue is because, first off, George Floyd didn't ask for any of this. You know what I mean? He was just going into a store trying to do whatever he had to do. But he became something greater. He became
counterfeit $20 bill. He was trying to rob the store.
Hold on. He became greater than who he was as a person. What happened there? I agree. A police officer put his knee on this man's neck for 8 minutes and 32 seconds. The man begged and cried and pleaded for his mother. People out there were even saying, hey, please stop, but they didn't.
That's terrible.
So what I'm saying is that despite who this man was, he was a fucking human being. And I don't even give a fuck what his past was or anything like that. Because once that happened, he became greater than that. He transcended who George Floyd was. He meant so much more to who he was as a person. He became the symbol of police brutality. And what happens to the black community?
That was Rodney King.
Time and time after again.
That happened to me. So that happened to me when I was younger. Like they did that to me. The police. My record is longer than any of my black friends, and I grew up in a black community. So, and that's why I stood up. My police record. If you looked at both of it,
I know you were there. You went to the protest. Remember? I remember that, man.
Yep, I sure did. To protest police brutality, absolutely 100%, because that wasn't right, and that's ultimately what killed him. But he did go in there with a counterfeit bill, and he did didn't he beat on his pregnant woman? And he wasn't a great person to give him a statue. Like then Charlie Kirk definitely gets a statue, right? You know, like
he didn't.
What did Charlie Kirk do that was so great?
Well, he spoke the truth and got killed for it. I mean,
okay. We're gonna give him advocated for what he said.
I am not. No, I think what Charlie Kirk did that was so great was that he encouraged debate and using our First Amendment rights and free speech and doing that rather than violence to help bridge the divide.
You're following his footsteps.
100% agree, but that
is why, regardless of his views.
I agree with you on everything you're saying as far as he encouraged debate. He wasn't, for violence or anything like that. What I'm saying is, does that deserve flags at half staff, moments of silence during the football games, a statue?
Kind of.
Yeah, he spoke. Listen, he spoke about civil rights stuff, a lot of civil rights stuff, a lot of people's rights and stuff about what they were doing when they were using the voting law to get trans people in the bathrooms and stuff. Like,
so all I got to do is speak about it, and I can get a statue.
No, it's
no. Were you killed for it?
He did. It was his mission in life to bring about the First Amendment, to have free debate, to bring it to kids. And to have them debate. He debated professors. He went over different countries. He wasn't just some guy. All right. He wasn't just some guy. And
that's just your opinion and feeling on it.
Oh, really?
No, that's exactly what he was.
So I asked you, what did he do?
I asked
the question was, what did he do? None of you have given me a iota of things that he did besides he debates.
He should have a statue at the White House.
And I'm asking you, what did this dude do to deserve a statue? Nobody.
We'll just give you the Maha movement.
You don't agree with what I said.
Nothing about what I'm saying. Nothing. I'm saying
the Maha movement
form where he would get a statue.
The Maha movement,
where though? A statue where? And that's the other thing. Where's the George Floyd statue going to be? Is it going to be lifted up everywhere? I mean,
you never heard me say that because I don't think so.
Yeah, but I'm saying when we say the statues,
what he deserves a statue.
Where are these statues going to be?
I see you comparing them to Martin Luther King, but Martin Luther King got all type of legislation and stuff passed. He got
the civil rights law passed because he was a Republican.
Right. Yes. So him getting a statue is way different from Charlie Kirk.
Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
Charlie Kirk went to college campuses and debated college kids.
He wasn't.
Yes,
That's
he was.
All he did.
Yes, he was.
No,
what else did he do?
Dr. King was a Republican, bro. Look that up. Look it up. I'm telling you. You got your computer right there. He's Republican.
Hold on, Rashawn. I just want to hear the answer to this question. What did he do that was statue deserving? I just want to hear it.
My view is, all right, and you're perfectly fine that you disagree. He exemplified using our First Amendment rights to bring about political debate in a peaceful manner, as opposed to what is going on all over the place. His point was we should be debating, we should be meeting each other, we should be talking to each other and debating peacefully without all the crap that's going on in this country right now. He was a staunch believer in the First Amendment. The other aspect of it for people, and again, I think it depends where you want a statue to go, is he was helping, part of his mission was to help young men who are very lost right now. A lot of young men are very lost. And part of his goal was to help them as well. So I think he was doing things for the benefit of society, as opposed to being someone who was killed doing criminal things, regardless of what it stands for. So I think there's a difference. He was trying to do something for the benefit of society. He was extremely well known. I don't necessarily think, I don't think he should have a statue erected at the White House or at the State House. But if they made a statue of him, I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. So and it should, go ahead. I'm sorry.
So you don't have a problem with the White House flying the flag at half staff for Charlie Kirk, but not flying the flag at half staff for John McCain, who was a
Oh, I think that was wrong. No. I think he should have done it for John McCain.
Yes, he should have. He was because he wasn't getting along with McCain at the time, but it should have happened. He's a hero.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like if you want to do a John McCain statue, I wouldn't argue with you at all. He's done some stuff that's deserving of a statue, but that's what I'm saying. So he dies. He dies, and we don't get any of this. We actually get vitriol. And then Charlie Kirk dies. The flag is at the White House is at half staff. They got a moment of silence during my
All right. So do I think Trump did the right thing? No. Do I think the half mast for Charlie Kirk was good? Yes. Do I think John McCain should have had half mast? Yes. So if you want to make it Trump, that's one thing.
But I'm saying I'm not making it anything. That's what happened when John McCain died, who's a national hero, a war hero, and a congressman or senator or whatever. Mm-hmm. Not only he's a legal official, and we didn't do that for him, but this guy who had no title at all you guys could say is he stood for this, he liked this. He said this. That's all you can't say. He did this.
Exclusionary.
Listen.
Why is it exclusionary? Why is it one or the other? I don't think it should be one or the other. I think it should have been both. I think Trump was wrong.
Go ahead, Jen.
Before Charlie Kirk died, he was in South Korea, and he was over there trying to help Christians over there because the South Korean government, I don't know if you know what's going on over there right now, but they're getting ready to become another North Korea, and they're tamping down on religion and everything else. And they've had all kinds of corruption going on with their government, and he went over there to help them with all the protests and everything that was happening over there at the time. So he wasn't just going around to colleges talking to young men. He was going all over the world trying to help promote free speech throughout the world.
His Oxford speech was incredible.
He wasn't just traveling to little colleges around here. And Jay, you're wrong. MLK was not a Republican. His father was. MLK did not align with any party.
MLK Jr.?
Yes, he was for the Civil Rights Party.
I never heard he was a Republican either.
I did.
Alveda King has said that, and the rest of the family has
Republicans were for individual rights. The Democrats were for state rights. So the Republicans
would not endorse a candidate. He would not align with either party because he didn't like what either party stood for. Yep. He wanted the Civil Rights Act passed, period, point blank, the end of story.
Jen's right, bro.
Very good, Jen.
Oh man, we done had a long discussion. We done had a bunch of topics,
Should we have a part 2?
Yeah, we got to do this again.
Might have to.
Have fun.
Yeah, because we didn't even talk about the Civil War part.
No,
that I want to talk about.
I mean, I bet you guys were having one right here, so we were good. We were good with that.
We're a perfect example of why there doesn't need to be a civil war.
There is a civil war going on right now, but it's not the type you think it is.
Yeah.
So that'll be a teaser for the next one, maybe.
Yep. We out of here. Thanks for coming out, guys.
Yep. Thank you so much. It was really nice meeting you.